Hey guys, welcome to the Electrical Theology Life Coaching, Esoteric Life Coaching. This is the second of three parts of the micro and macro read, or the progress and path of your path, creating your own path. However we want to put that, guys, but it's unfolding the moment with an undefended heart and taking responsibility for your thoughts, actions, and emotions. So this is sermon 7.9, but this is 7.9.1. Because there's two more parts of the. We went over the physical one last time, so check out that video, and then we'll have the mental one today, and then the spiritual one tomorrow. So we basically have been going over and expanding on these ionic energies in their truest form, or we'll say, because it's form, their truest form. Because before these words and these ionic words that I put down, there's going to be no form. So this is the first form of that, and this and Shambhala. This is their first formation, if you will, in the natural world, from the supernatural world, or the etheric world, or astral world, whatever you want to. But within the cause and effect, this causal body, we are the cause of the being. So we are the because. All right. Now we've been asking these questions. I have a lot of questions. Love to write a book. What should I write the book about? Where should I move? Should I invest in ABC commodity, whatever, person, place, or thing? Should I start an exercise program? And is there one? If not, is there a better one for me? Or however you want to put it. I want to end a relationship or start a relationship, or is this person good for me? Whatever your question is, this expanded version of that, we're just breaking it down another step so it gets easier and easier to understand this concept, this secret grid I'm teaching you. And the secret grid goes beyond, it takes other forms in different mythologies and different mystic groups and secret societies. But again, because I have a lot of different backgrounds, I sort of meld them all together and created or understood the universe as it or I has shown myself. Makes sense? All right. So we went over the who are you. We went over this last time. Look at the video before this one, and we went over that one to help you understand, should you write the book? Should you move? Should you start an exercise program? Should you invest? Right? We started to see if that's what you wanted to really do, and if that's who you really are, and are you amused or inspired by that? So let's get into the mental, right? This is the mental realm, or the chemical realm. This is where everything gets mixed up together, right? Our thoughts start forming and unforming and looking at variations of thought form. Here, it already turned into the form, but here's where, before it turns into form, it's mixing together, right? This is the separate ingredients. We mix them together, and this is the cake. Make sense? So today we're just going to talk about the mental realm, and then I said the next video will be on the spiritual realm. So if you see me in the same shirt, I'm filming it all at once, but I'm separating it into 3 videos. All right, guys. So same questions. Let's just look at the questions real quick again. I want to write a book. I have a lot of love I want to share. What should I write about? Where should I move? Should I move? Should I invest in company ABC? Should I start exercise XYZ? Should I get in or out of a relationship? Or any question you may have. You may have a question right now pressing upon you, and you're not sure what to do or what direction to take. And that's what this grid is about. It's going to show you what direction to take, but it's going to be up to you to make it and take action on that. But do it because you love to. Is it because, yeah, you love it, but it's just hard? That's fine. Is there enough love to sustain you? And that's where we're going to get on with this next question. This is about what are your strengths and weaknesses? Right? So before we were talking about, are you ready to make this move? Or do you love the choice about making this move? What are some new belief systems, or what are some new perceptions you have about this new move? And so on. So we're going to continue on with that last video. And in the mind, we're in the mind now, right? But the body's asking the question, so now the mind's going to answer it. And we're going to answer that by asking questing ions. So, what are your strengths and weaknesses? right? We look down here at who are you, and we sort of look at what fires you up, right? What is easy to flow for you, right? What do you are open to love, right? What gets your creative juices flowing? Right? This is these questions that we asked here. Well, we're sort of looking at these unique abilities down here, but we're going to look at them closer here. Which ones are you naturally good at? Can you just pick a piano up or pick a piano? Can you just pick a guitar up and play what you hear on the radio, or can you play the piano just by hearing? I can normally hear what's on a song and then play it out through the piano. Now, I'm no great pianist by any means, but I can sort of copy the song by just hearing it, right? But I'm not really a musician, right? But I like music. Right? These are different things and qualities that I like about me, but do I want to go out there on tour? And one, not my motivation, right? It sounds good, but not really what I want to do. I don't know that I can ever sustain that. And again, I'm just a guy who plucks a guitar, and that's it. So what are you? And that's all I want to do. And I don't want to go out on the stage. So that's just who I am. I'll get up in front of a stage of thousands of people and talk this stuff all day long, but the guitar is just something I do when my mind gets tired. All right, guys, so what are your strengths? Right? My strength, I like to talk. I like knowledge. I like to study. I like history. I like learning health, wealth, and love. I've studied these things my whole life, from the alternative to the allopathic to the natural to the supernaturals. I've studied all the ends that I can find out there, guys. So for me, I really love to talk about that which I study, that which interests me. And by talking about what I love, it naturally goes into my memory. I don't have to memorize anything. It's just there all the time. I can pull it up. People, they always comment that, how do you remember all this stuff? I said, I don't remember it. It's just there because I like it. And once you like it, it sticks with you for the rest of your life, right? So look at your strengths. Now, if you do have weaknesses, if you perceive something to be a weakness, great. That's something you can strengthen. Or be okay that that's a weakness. That makes sense? It's okay that that is a weakness. For an example, in a business, I'm okay doing the books, or the numbers, the balancing, all that good stuff. But do I want to do it for 5 businesses? No. I'm going to hand that over to somebody else because they're so much better. They're loving it. They love numbers, but that's my weakness. So I'm okay handing that weakness over to someone who's strong. Making sense now? All right, guys. So hopefully, let's look at the strength. Do we have the motivation to keep going? Right? About making the choice that we love and create new thoughts around that, taking the actions around that, being open to receiving more of who we are, right? You see me? I'm following this. I'm just going back on this. So again, let's go to the next one. Where is contemplation required? And we talked about the word contemplation, right? These ions here is just a template. Look where it says con meaning with, template. So it's a template. This, what I'm showing you, is a cosmic template. It is a secret grid. And so this template, understanding this template as I do, then we're able to know what ions are building or coming in, because we can see the whole parade from start to finish if we're up in the helicopter, right? So where is it further contemplation? So let's say, okay, I do have some strength, but this weakness may be killing me, right? I can just go back here in the physical realm and go, am I ready to make this move? Well, what could be a weakness there? Right? It could be your own attitude. Well, I don't think I'm good enough. Why should I move? Right? We're going back to making excuses. So we can just look at the weakness or strength, right? And say, am I strong enough to do this? Right? Question yourself. It's okay. Who are you? How are you? And if you need some motivation, what's going to motivate you? Well, let's go back down one and over. What or where motivates you or amuses you? Is this strength amusing? Can you keep doing this? If you're a comedian, each night it gets hard because you may go in at 2 o'clock in the morning and there may be 5 people there. But do you love doing comedy? Do you love making people laugh if it's 1 or 100 or 1,000? Right? Me, I don't care. If there's 1 person in my audience or 1,000, I'll still talk to that person. I'll talk to each and every one of you about this stuff. I talk to myself about it all the time. So having an audience is just an extra kick, man. Love it. I love it. Am I the best speaker in the world? No. Don't want to be either. Don't want to be perfect. Don't want to be a teetotaler a Toastmaster, Rotary, or any of that. Those things are great for business people. I'm not a corporate person like that. I'm just going to be myself, in which I'm going to show you my imperfections. Now, will I cut some of these and out of my things? Yeah, because for me, I just don't like it myself. It's not about you, it's about me. Now, I do want to present you with something good because that's what I am amused about. I want to present you with great information. So if it does a little editing, I'm okay with that. But my personality is still me. If you meet me in person, this is who I am. Right? I'm still going to be me. So what new choices? Well, let's get back to the contemplation. So just if there's something bugging you or you're not sure about the strength, great, strengthen it even more. And what do you need to? How do you need to strengthen it? We just go over here and receive more information about what it is you think you don't have enough of. Because again, universe is full of everything you need. Right? We just got to pull it from the no thing into the thing and redirect it or reform it from the pure energy into a formation, which then creates a form or a person, place, or thing form in your life. But we got to have information first. Got it? All right, so that's contemplation. Once you got your answers in there, then move on. Right? So the next one is what new choices are. What new choices are? What? Let me change it because I just noticed that. There. What new choices are you aware of that you don't know? That's an interesting one, huh? We don't know what we don't know, right? So then when we ask or request those ions from the unformed, they will come into the form of which we want them to appear, which is we don't know. So it's going to show us something so we do know by reinterpreting that or giving it meaning or acting upon that, right? So what new choices are you aware of that you didn't know? So this is coming out of contemplation. So out of contemplation, you get true insight. You get some insight. You look outside the world and you reflect inside and go, huh, okay, I can see how that's me. And we've talked about reflection in the other episodes. So out of that reflection, that deep contemplation, what new choices am I aware of now that I can make that I didn't know of before? Well, maybe I didn't know I can just take a bus for $50 from point A to point B. Right? I got $50. I can borrow $50. Right? I can hop on a bus. It may take longer, but that's okay. Right? I wasn't aware of that before. I wasn't aware that you could take a private jet and not go through all the rigmarole you would at an airport. With a couple extra $100, you can hop what they call a dead leg flight, or just a dead end flight. They got different names for them. But yeah, if I'm in Florida and all of a sudden there's a plane, some of these contacts I have, there's a plane going to Wyoming, and I can say, hey, are you going to Wyoming? Yeah, sure, okay, for a couple $100, I can hop on that plane because they got to go there anyway. So a couple $100 extra to them is fine. I didn't know about that before. Now I do. All right? Make sense? All right. Let's move on. So what challenges are you ready to face? So because of this new insight, it's going to show you some new challenges because you didn't know. Now you got to confront this newness. And it's going to show you, are you ready to face? Because really, what are you facing? You. It's how you deal with that. It's how you interpret that. Right? It's what meaning you gave it. Right? Make sense? All right, let's move on. So once you look at these challenges that you're ready to face, and you do face them, excellent, we'll move on. But if you don't, we got to go, why not? Well, because you're not really ready to take that action because you're not really motivated because you haven't done your homework. Right? Or you did your homework and found out, nah, that's not what I want to do. I thought I wanted to live in the motorhome full time, but maybe just part time. That'll be fun. All right? All right, so let's move on. Are you ready to walk your beat? Beat to your own drum, all that good stuff. Are you ready to walk your walk, talk your talk? Right? Do you know who you are now? By knowing who you are, does that amuse you? If you're not amused at yourself, then you're not ready to talk about you. Right? I'm okay not being perfect. I'm okay owning up to what I'm not, or what my weakness is. Right? I face it. I let others face it. Hey, this is my weakness, dudes. This is what it is. You know? So are you ready to walk your walk, talk your talk, all that good stuff? If you are, let's move on, man. Are you ready to move? And if you are ready to move, then start packing the car. You got the plane tickets. You got the first chapter written. You got a desk ready and space and quiet ready to write that book. Are you ready to start the exercise? Do you have the equipment you need? Right? If you don't have any of this stuff, then you're not really ready. Are you ready to walk your walk? You say, yeah, I'm going to work out. I'm going to work out. I'm going to try next week. No, you're not. There is no ing in trying. You either do it or you don't. Right? There's no ing in change. You either changed or you didn't. Right? There's no ing in. There's no inging. Right? You changed or you didn't. Right? So don't make excuses. Right? Well, this happened. No, that's an excuse. So own it, and then just say, you know what? I wasn't ready. I'm going to admit that to myself. I wasn't ready because there's something that either doesn't motivate me, or I don't have enough information, or I just really don't want to do that. Cool. It's okay to be a little fearful, right? Fear is just the lack of love. So if you fear something, fear is also laziness, right? Where are you not loving yourself? Face yourself, right? What is it about yourself that you're not ready to face? So let's move on, right? Where is it time to end and then start again? So let's say maybe you started that book before, and you started writing it, and people were yelling at you because you chose to quit your job and that you were going to be a blogger, and then you were just going to write a book and you were becoming famous in a year. Well, that all didn't work out, right? So now the thought that you're putting toward that, it's time to end that thought. It's time to rebirth that thought. It's time to get that typewriter out again. It's time to get that computer out, that tablet out, whatever your form of writing is. And how are you going to approach it differently? Did you look at what your weaknesses were? Right? Did you contemplate on that? Make sense? Right? Are you ready to make that move? Right? Everyone's telling you, no, that's a bad time, that's a bad place. California's going to go in the hole. Oh, there's floods and hurricanes in Puerto Rico. Oh, don't go over to Australia. They'll lock you up for not wearing a mask. They'll do whatever you want. I mean, you can make excuses all day long. But where are you ready to end that type of thinking? Where are you ready to begin anew? What new thoughts are you ready to act upon that are going to make you be yourself? Making sense? You ready to keep going? All right, let's go. So where are you ready to take responsibility for your movement, right? Motion. If you start going along your trip and all of a sudden you get flat tires, then those flat tires, hey, then if you get that flat tire, you may go, oh, it's a sign I shouldn't do this. But if all the other signs, these are road signs. Each one of these are a road sign. And if each one's still telling you to go forward, then go forward. But if each one of these road signs are telling you, no, this isn't your path, because you're running into frustration, hesitation, then you need to contemplate a little bit more. Right? So we need to look at where you're ready to take responsibility for your emotions, energy and motion. You're the one calling the energy down. You're the one directing it. So are you ready to take responsibility for those thoughts, actions, and emotions that we just took in the mental realm and now the physical realm? Right? So we can look at this as the exercise program. Do I have the strength? Okay, let's say I'm 50 pounds overweight. Do I have the physical strength? Well, maybe not. So then I need to look at this exercise program that I was looking at that said, well, you know, my mind says I want to do it, but there's no way in hell my body's going to do it. So let me look for something else. Let me research that. So we back up a couple steps and we do all these physical stuff. And then we come at it again and go, hey, this one actually works. I'm going to try it, which means you actually do it. And then you're like, yeah, I can do this one. It's slow, but that's okay. I'm good with it. I support myself. I love myself. I'm going to put an end to the old program and start a new program. So you can see any of these questions that I'm asking, or any questions you have, write them down or put them in the comments below. I'll take a look at them and I'll use those as an example, maybe in the spiritual realm. So hopefully this is making sense to you guys. And at any time none of these pages in the universal book aren't working out, just drop down one or go back one, right? And we'll continue this conversation with the next video, all right? We look forward to seeing you. And again, guys, like, subscribe. Definitely, I see a lot of people starting to watch, but I'd like to see that like button go up, and feel free to comment. I'll try to answer each one of them back, all right? Thanks a lot, guys.